This man turned people into soup. This is Santiago Mesa Lopez, and he turned the victims of the cartel into soup. Santiago was a skilled mason, so much so that he caught the eye of some members of the Tijuana cartel. They then hired him to do construction work for them and take care of their horses. Santiago proved to be a hard-working employee who never questioned his bosses or a task, so they decided to bring him on board the Tijuana cartel and show him the ropes. He rose through the ranks of the cartel from a drug dealer to the rank of drug office keeper. It was obviously a risky job, but years later, Santiago was still alive and had his job. But things became complicated when Santiago's cartel got into a war with another cartel. The streets of Tijuana became a battleground with thousands of people getting killed and their bodies getting abused daily. This then got the attention of the Mexican authorities and the DEA and the FBI, and the cartel soon realized they had to get rid of the bodies quickly and quietly. They then got an idea from dangerous people who made people disappear, and the idea was to turn them into soup. But they needed someone they can trust fully to do the dirty work, and that person was Santiago Mesa Lopez. They then brought him into a room for an experiment, and in the room was a 200-liter drum filled with a caustic concoction of water, soda, and many other chemicals. They then brought in the dead body of a victim of the cartel war, and Santiago was then ordered to strip the body and stuff it into the drum. He did this without asking any questions or blinking an eye. They then all watched as the body started to dissolve in the liquid, so they left it overnight. The next morning they came back to see the body had completely dissolved, leaving behind smudge and bone fragments. Santiago then got a new title called the Stewmaker. This title fit him well as he was the one stirring the bodies in the drum, turning them into soup. As the Stewmaker, his task was simple but very brutal: dissolve the victims of the cartel in acid. While the cartel was killing and destroying their enemies, Santiago was making soup with what was left of their body and erasing every bit of evidence from the cartel's crime. Santiago operated in numerous locations, mostly near remote ranches or farms bordering the United States. He took deliveries of the bodies in different locations, and in some months, Santiago got 30 to 50 bodies to completely dissolve and disappear. He would chop up the bodies in smaller pieces and then dump them into the drum containing the acid solution. The process could take several hours depending on the size of the body. He would then stir the mixture occasionally with a wooden stick or metal rod, and the pieces that weren't dissolved properly, like teeth and bone fragments, were then burnt with gasoline. The liquid from the barrels was imported to rivers or wells, but as Santiago became more skilled, he constructed drainage systems that made it easier for him and his crew to dispose of the remains without having to carry the heavy barrels of liquefied human. Santiago is said to have dissolved over 1,000 bodies in his career, and for his service he was making $600 weekly. This is absolutely crazy, and many people think that he just could have said no, but if he did, those could have been the last words he ever spoke.